Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Joe, and today we need to talk about the state of the Apple ecosystem and where Apple is succeeding against the competition and where they really have some catching up to do. First things first, we need to talk about the Apple ecosystem. So, what is it? Who needs it? And why should you care about it? Well, when you think about the range of products that Apple sells, there's no short supply of them. They've got phones and tablets in the form of the iPad, computers, both as desktops and laptops, headphones, smartwatches, credit cards, and even virtual reality headsets. And that's just scratching the tip of the iceberg. But what's more impressive than the list of what products they sell is how those products together work to form the ecosystem. And let me give you an example. So these are the AirPod Pro 2s, and they're amazingly light and compact headphones. They sound impressive, they hold a great charge, and they'd be awesome if that's all they did, but that's not really the magic of these headphones. No, the magic is that they automatically connect to my phone when I put them in my ears. And if I switch over to my tablet, they switch over automatically. And if I go watch something on the Apple TV in the living room, they're connected there as well. Let me give you another example. So this is the Apple Watch Ultra 3, and it's a fantastic smartwatch for everyday wear, as well as for those who want something that will hold up on hikes or for sports, tracking, diving, you get the point. But what's great is that if I get a call or a text on my phone, my watch is alerting me to that. So if I'm in a meeting at work and don't want to pull out my phone in the middle of a presentation, I can just glance down at my watch and see what's happening. That all happens seamlessly, and that's how Apple devices connect together to form a better experience, hence the ecosystem. So the logical question then is, how does Apple's ecosystem compare to the other companies out there? Well, let's talk about it. So the main primary competitor these days to what Apple is producing is the Android ecosystem. But it's more complex than that because while Google may be the owners of the Android platform, they're not the exclusive provider of Android devices. So you've got devices now from brands like Google, Samsung, OnePlus, Xiaomi, Oppo, and the list goes on and on and on. There's an absolutely massive amount of manufacturers now for Android devices, and most don't keep things unchanged, meaning they add their own tweaks and customizations to the base operating system to give it some distinction from its competitors. Most of them also have accompanying devices too, like the Pixel Watch for Google Pixel phones or the Samsung Galaxy Watch for Samsung Galaxy phones. Now, you may already be thinking, well, that's a lot of manufacturers with a lot of different devices. Does the software work well across all those devices and brands? Well, to answer that question, it's story time with Joe. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a passionate Apple user named Joe. He liked his Apple devices a lot, but eventually got bored of devices that looked mostly the same. So he decided to take the plunge and wander out into the great big world of Android devices. He was surrounded by new sights and new sounds like he'd never seen the likes of before. And then he got mugged and left for dead. Okay, no, but seriously, here's what happened. So I switched over to the Android ecosystem right before summer of this year, and I picked up the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra along with the Galaxy Watch Ultra to accompany it. I even got the Galaxy Bud Pro 2 headphones as well, which were fantastic devices because, hey, if I'm going to try out the ecosystem, I'm going all the way, and what could possibly go wrong, right? Right? Well, my initial experience with those devices was amazing. Apple often gets dogged on because of its walled garden approach, i.e., you can't do whatever you want on an iPhone. There's definitive walls around the software. Android, on the other hand, you can basically do whatever you want. You can change the animation speed of your phone, you can change the icons of your phone. It basically all can be changed, and it's incredibly impressive. But, and you knew there was gonna be a but, there was a big problem. Many of the software pieces I used on a daily basis on my iPhone had a counterpart on the Android world. There was the same banking apps, same photo editing apps, same reading apps, etc. But despite the fact that they were the exact same things, they didn't behave like they were the same. I'd use an app that works flawlessly on the iPhone, like my preferred password manager of choice, Bitwarden. But for the life of me, I could not get the passwords to autofill in the Android phone. That meant that I'd have to copy paste my passwords over and over again. What a giant pain that was. And the straw that broke the camel's back was Android Auto. See, I regularly connect my phone to my car in order to do navigation, listen to music, podcasts, whatever. And using CarPlay on an iPhone, I had zero issues. It just worked. But that was not my experience with Android Auto. In the best of times, when it worked, it was unbelievably slow. That was it working at its best. More often than not, it just wouldn't connect to my car, period. I tried resetting the phone, tried different cables, nothing. It didn't matter. And that was the point where I came to a very important realization. Great hardware without equally great software is not a great product. And don't get me wrong, I thought the S25 Ultra itself and the Galaxy Watch were great devices. They had great hardware, but behind the scenes, Android just wasn't that great. So after a few months, I'd had enough and I switched back to Apple. And let me tell you, it was like seeing an old friend again for the first time in a while. You know, they know your likes, they know your dislikes, they tell you jokes that you'll always find funny, and they just get you. And that's the Apple ecosystem. It just works shockingly well. So is it perfect? No. Okay, so I just spent all this time telling you why the Apple ecosystem is so amazing and great, but that doesn't mean that it's flawless or doesn't have opportunities to be better. A key example of this is in hardware innovation. In some ways, the hardware that Apple produces is top-notch. The M-series chips in the MacBook, they're absolutely revolutionary in how powerful and also how power efficient they are. And I can gush over how much I like the software of my Apple Watch Ultra all day. It's fantastic. But compared to the competition, it does lose some of its luster. Take battery life, for instance. I can get a solid 2 days of battery life on my Apple Watch Ultra, which sounds decent enough when you factor in sleep tracking and the like, but you also have to consider that the competitors like Samsung's Galaxy Watch Ultra would get me 3.5 days of battery life at a fraction of the cost of this watch. Or how about the OnePlus Watch 3? It gets 5 days of battery life. That's amazing. How about the iPhone? Well, it's got 3 really great 48 megapixel cameras on the back. And for a lot of use cases, you'll get everything you need out of those 3 cameras for daily shooting or for some video work. But are they the best cameras on a phone? No. I've got to be honest, the camera quality on my S25 Ultra was shockingly impressive. The zoom range was truly next level, and this rant wouldn't be complete without talking about the big giant AI elephant in the room. See, Apple's been touting its Apple Intelligence AI system for the better part of a year, and what do we have a year later? Well, we've got Genmojis, and if you're going, what do those do? I don't really know either. Whereas the AI on the Android, well, it's light years ahead. It could generate whole scenes into images, link up with other apps to book appointments for me. It truly was a smarter AI system, so props where they're due. Good job there, Samsung. Okay, so is Apple then junk and you should run the competitors with full abandonment? I don't think so. I think most people, the high majority at least, at the end of the day would prefer a set of tools and functions that don't have flaws or big gaping holes in software that prevent it all from working together smoothly, the way that it does on the Apple ecosystem. So my personal recommendation is that if you're already part of the ecosystem, sure, take a look outside of it from time to time. See what's new and innovative over on the other side of the tech world, but then come back home and enjoy what just works well. Hey, if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next one.